everybody. Welcome back to Katarina's Garage. My name is Katarina and Lloyd, and as you can see, here's a 78 Civic. And unfortunately, it got damaged during transport, so now we're trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen now? Due to the fact that it wasn't our fault. Like, it was the tow truck driver's fault. So it's going to go straight on to like AMA's type of insurance or that tow truck company's insurance, I suppose. So yeah, the problem is we don't know what this is going to cost, and it's probably going to cost a lot because there's no aftermarket support for these. You can't buy one of these hoods brand new. But well, let's get into it. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm not happy about this at all. So if you take a look, you know, this was really nice, but it's creased now. Quite bad. I'm sure the hood's probably bent too. You know, you can see the trim is all fucked up. This hinge snapped completely. You got some cracking in the grill now. And yeah, and even under the hood, you can tell there's a little more damage too. It's just, luckily it's not too bad, but I'm going to go to the other side. See, and it didn't creak like that before, so that's from the hood damage. But if we take a look, you can see where it hit down there and bent the hood. So I don't know, but we'll just have to figure it out in the future. But anyways, I'm gonna give you guys a tour of this car though, and try to be as optimistic as I can. So this is a 78 Honda Civic. This is the little 1200 cc, so it's 1.2 liters for those people that don't understand. And look at how like compact it is in here, and yet there is still so much room to work on it. Like, it's a little tight for around the spark plugs, but really it's not too bad. It's kind of a pain in the ass with the spark plugs because the hood's in the way, but it's fine. You don't really need to reach that far. Let's go to the other side here. Sorry, just need to move something here. There we go. And you can see this tiny little rad, you know, with an electric fan. And it's not surprising to see an electric fan. To be honest, this thing is pretty much original. And it has a really cool story, which I'll get into in a moment. You know, some things we'll need though, is just like these strut top mounts, which I've actually found that you can get these a lot cheaper than what people say you can. Because it needs it on both sides. They're both dry rotted. We don't know if this runs due to the fact that we don't have keys for it, so gonna have to look into that. Meanwhile, now just look at the condition of this body though. And all of that is surface rust. That's not actual rust. Although there is actual rust on it, because if you take a look down below, you'll see that rocker is toast. But there's a little bit on the back fender too. And this is the smallest car I've ever sat in. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, you'll see this was actually originally bought at TNT Auto in Calgary. TNT Honda. That was the first Honda dealer in Calgary. Now they have, I think, like 4. And this thing's pretty much original. Now, we don't have, unfortunately, we don't have these. The owner thinks they're around somewhere, but don't know for sure. He took the original plate off of it, and he couldn't get the one off the front, but when I get it off, I'll give it to him, because it's fine. I understand. He wants the memory. Because this was his wife's car that she bought brand new in 1978. So yeah, it's a one owner with 120,000 original kilometers on it. And now this side, you can tell this side is just about untouched, right? And you can start to see the original blue down at the bottom body line here, and it's honestly very cool. I love this thing. Up top, you know, you'll see a sunroof, and this is actually a dealer installed sunroof. This is not one of those cheap aftermarket pieces of crap. And because we don't have keys, I can't open up the hatch or anything, but bear with me here. You know, inside, you'll see the original door panels and everything. It's all actually in pretty decent nick. You know, there's some trim and whatnot, but the seats, however, are toast. We're gonna need to find front seats because they are just hurting for a certain. If we take a look, you know, there is not a 5-speed. That is a 4-speed manual, which the 1200 Civics only got a 4-speed. They could not get the 5-speed in '78. Take a look at the gauges, and again, so many idiot lights. You know, you've got your oil change idiot light. That's your high beams, that's your fasten seatbelt, and then you've got a choke here, which it's got a manual choke down there. Okay, so that's where your lights are. Okay, that's good to know. Your horn is here, you know, and it's all very cool. I'm honestly a big fan of these cars. I've never owned one, so right. If we look in the back, which, you know, it's surprising. This thing, with the seats as destroyed as they are, there we go. That still works, which is amazing because they don't even work in my '81 Mustang or my '86 for that matter. They don't stay closed. You know, there is a seat here, which I can lift this back up and show you guys. Ah! Okay, that seat is not properly anchored back there, so I'll have to fix that. But, yeah, anyways, the back seat's in good shape, though. You know, it's just super tiny and really awesome in here. The sunroof does leak a little. And, you know, and if we, take a look, it has 0 brakes, because if you press it, there's just nothing there. It doesn't feel like it's actually connected to anything, so it might just be that the lines run off, but yeah, it bounces right back on its own. But you press in the clutch, and it does grab. So I think the clutch is actually still good, provided that it might be stuck, because this thing's been sitting for a long time. If we bring you guys in here, I'm gonna have to adjust the tripod here. Give me a second, guys. Because I'm not used to being in something quite this small. Just one moment. Here we go. Okay, there we go. That should work. So inside, you'll see the original color up here, you know, which is the blue. We do have a seal that's hanging down. This does leak a little, but I think it's because it's missing the pin for this to properly hold it down and pull it back. So I think that's why it's leaking. You know, we got the original mirror, which I hung back up. We got the original sun visors. You know, you got, here's your rear defrost and all of your defrost and fan settings. Pretty cool. And even, look how deep that glove box is. Like, that's amazing. If I can show you guys. There you go. Ah! Mirror got knocked off. See? It's actually pretty deep in there. It's quite nice. And this thing does do a really good job of space saving type stuff. Like, you know, it conserves space very well in here. It has no stereo, but I found a guy that has an original FM stereo for one of these. And because we don't have the key, although actually it's on... Okay, it's in the start position, so technically... Okay, that's weird. Interesting. That's actually in the start position, though. So that's curious. I'll have to fiddle with that a little bit. Because, yeah, on these, though, oddly enough, to get keys made is very, 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 very simple. You know, and we can tell, actually, looking at some of the tags, like, that's the original body color tag, right? That blue that this is. We've also got a VIN tag here, followed by, you know, the gross vehicle weight. Like, that's how much weight it can carry all together, including the weight of the car. You know, and it's Doors closed pretty solid. There's something a little loose inside, but that's fine. And again, you know, you'll see the VIN tag or engine tag and chassis tag up here. You have the Honda Motor Company one. You have the emission sticker underneath. We also have this original air filter, which I actually have a really bitchin' air filter that'll go on here. I bought it for my car and realized, wait, it's not, you know, it probably won't fit. I also have vacuum lines going to mine. This one doesn't, so I think I can make it work. But, it's another chrome one, but yeah, and it's so sad about, you know, and the bumper was already bent, so that's fine. We already knew that coming into this project, but there's a couple of damaged lenses, like this one, for example, is damaged, but I think this one might be too. No, this one's actually in good shape. So, you know, and we might just get the earlier ones that go right here, because those signal lights are cooler, I think. We don't know if any of the electrical works, because we haven't tried it. But, yeah, now let me just extend my stand back out again. Apologies, guys, it's a little unorthodox, but, you know, this car is so tiny, so it's getting used to the stand and everything. Plus, it's on, you know, a couple of tires are flat, and the one rear wheel is locked up. But yeah, so basically, there's a few things we're gonna do. We're gonna get keys made, which we'll just go to Honda. I don't know, maybe on the weekend if they're open on Saturday. And well, we'll call first just to make sure, because apparently they can make a key for you for one of these for like no money whatsoever. It's like 15 bucks. So we may as well do that instead of getting something out here. Just like spend the 20 bucks in gas. Just do that. And everything, like, honestly, I am very excited about this project. I have no doubt in my mind that that motor will run, but yeah, we shall see. Because yeah, I am anxious to get a battery in this thing, but well, my car with the functional battery right now is gone, and the battery in Milo needs to be charged up. So yeah, this thing, all in all, is 11 foot 6.5 feet long. So this is essentially 2 feet shorter in length than my Mustangs are. It's incredibly small, and yet you fit in it just fine. It's unless you're like a 400-pound dude, but or woman. However, I'm not, and nor is my dad. My dad fits in this thing just fine. And you do have to climb out of this thing a little bit, but it's not that bad, really. Parts are a nightmare to find for these though. Like, you can find some stuff, but there's no aftermarket support whatsoever for a first-gen Civic. But I want to show you guys. Okay, this car. Now I'll let you in on a little scoop. This car has been sitting since 1995, so it's been sitting for 26 years, which is incredible. Like, it was on the tag. It was May of 1995. So yeah, it's, you know, almost exactly 26 years that this thing is sat. And the you know, what's interesting though about these as well is the VIN. It's only a 10-digit VIN, and you know, there's a couple of places where it's actually stamped on it, which is pretty cool. I just hope they won't want to re-VIN this, because it kind of ruins the originality and stuff like that. Because I know older vehicles, they want to do that, but yeah, you know, we've checked over it a little bit. Of course, we couldn't see if it ran, but honestly, with that in the start position, it might just run, honestly, pretty easily. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of investigation with that and see. And fuel tank smells fine, but we're still gonna drop the tank, and I'm gonna show you guys how to go through the fuel system and what you should do and stuff like that with a car that's been sitting. If you look at a project like this, 'cause this is a major project. Like, as much as I'd like to have this thing on the road in the next, you know, few, like, before the end of summer, it's probably not going to happen. So yeah, meanwhile, you know, and then with the hood situation, they're going to have to pay up, and it's probably not going to be cheap, because that's going to have to be repaired rather than replaced. because you can't really replace that because they're so rare. And also, like, it's a 1 year only hood because, well, there's a couple things about this hood that makes it really, really, really cool. You know, because yeah, you can see it is kind of bent, but that might just be, yeah, it is bent. But so this will have to be unbent and stuff, and I don't have the skills to fix creases. I could fix a bend, and I could fix if it was just a dent, but that's actually creased. So I don't know for sure. We'll see. But anyways, ignoring the damage here, it's got these cool gills in it, which again, 1978 only for these gills, and this scoop, which is actually functional, and I think that's for the cold, like the fresh air vent inside if it has one. Because it doesn't actually go to the air cleaner. If you take a look where that ends up, right? That's right into this, and there's no holes, so I might cut some holes in that to make that functional for the air cleaner that I have and make it a functional cold air. But you know, we'll see. And you know, and it's gonna be revitalizing some of these lights. I'll show you guys how to do that on video. It's really cool because these are just faded. You know, they're not need to be wet sanded, I don't think. These should just be able to be buffed out. So we shall see. I mean, they're in really nice nick. And I mean, like, these are yeah. Now today it says 76, but these are 78 only taillights too. That's how you can tell a 78 is because the amber is on top like that, and it's bigger compared to the earlier ones. And also, if you take a look too, when you see one of these, there are three different styles, but two different of the two doors. You have the full-on hatchback, which this is, but it doesn't go all the way down for a hatchback, which I don't know why they don't do that. But then there's also a coupe model where this does not open, but it's actually this that drops. So it's pretty cool, honestly. And these things are very hard to come by, although I found a few for sale now, so just 78s though are few and far between. But yeah, but you know, we are going to get this thing revived, and with any luck, we'll just have to, before I do any proper work to it, I can do some testing of like light systems and stuff like that, but that's all I can do for now. And yeah, because you know, until we figure out what's gonna happen with this, we don't want to dump a bunch of money into this thing as of yet. You know, and this thing, honestly, we didn't pay a lot of money for it, but, and that might, I don't know what they're exactly going to charge, like, to pay us out for that damage, because they're going to have to. And yeah, it's so sad. You know, and if you saw inside the car, actually, when I was in there, there's a bunch of, like, looks like chrome trim. It's just Mac tack. I tore all of that off as soon as we bought it, because it was just ugly. If you want to see how this thing looked, though, before the damage, there are pictures up on my Instagram, which is katarina's.garage, or on my Facebook page, which is Katarina's Garage as well. And also, if you want to contact me, you can at those two places as well. But yeah, anyways, I think I'll end it here. And as well, if I can film you a ride, you know, please let me know. Alberta residents only at the moment for that, and yeah, just because, you know, BC borders kind of closed at the moment, and Saskatchewan is just, you know, too far at the moment for stuff. So yeah, here's the new project. This is actually my dad's project. He's funding this, although I am helping somewhat with the funding of this, because I am very excited about this project. I really wanted to get it underway, but we gotta wait to hear what they say about that first. So yeah, anyways, you know, hope you're staying safe during COVID-19. Good luck with whatever you're working on, and I'll catch you in the next video. So yeah, anyways, bye! Pikachu!